Ever had those moments when your own thoughts seem to be your worst enemy? Welcome to the club. We all have that internal noise, those nagging doubts and relentless criticisms. It's called negative self-talk, and it can be a tough opponent. But don't worry, this video is all about understanding it, taming it, and transforming it into a positive force. You'll learn from scientific insights, personal experiences, and even a dash of scriptural wisdom. So, are you ready? Let's dive into the science behind this internal chatter. Our brains are chatterboxes, and that's not just a quirky trait. It's science. Let's delve into the science of self-talk. Picture your brain as a bustling control center, with constant communication happening internally through self-talk. This internal dialogue is more than just mindless chatter. It's a manifestation of our consciousness, a continual narrative that shapes our perception of reality. Our self-talk is a running commentary that directly influences our emotions. Think about it. When you tell yourself that you're capable and confident, you often feel a surge of positivity and courage. On the other hand, if your self-talk is filled with phrases like, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," it tends to bring about feelings of self-doubt and apprehension. Now let's talk about the impact of negative self-talk on our mental health. It's like a cloud of smog, obscuring our clarity and draining our energy. Persistent negative self-talk can lead to mental health issues, such as anxiety and depression. It's a bit like that saying from the Bible, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Our thoughts, especially the ones we express to ourselves, can shape our reality. But self-talk isn't all doom and gloom. It plays a critical role in our decision-making process too. When faced with a decision, we often engage in a mental conversation, weighing the pros and cons. This internal conversation helps us make more informed decisions. Lastly, self-talk shapes our self-perception. The way we talk to ourselves influences how we perceive ourselves. If our self-talk is unkind and critical, our self-image will likely be negative. Conversely, positive self-talk can enhance our self-esteem. To bring a touch of levity to this rather serious topic, think of your brain as a radio station. You wouldn't tune into a station that only plays sad, depressing songs, right? So why let your self-talk be a constant stream of negativity? Understanding this, we can see how crucial it is to turn this self-talk from a foe to a friend. But how do we deal with that nagging, negative voice inside? Take a moment and think about it. It's like having a pesky house guest who overstays their welcome, isn't it? This unwelcome visitor is what we call the inner critic. It's that voice inside that likes to remind us of our shortcomings, our failures, and our fears. It's the voice that likes to tell us that we're not good enough, that we're not smart enough, that we're not capable enough. But here's the thing, this inner critic isn't as powerful as it seems. In fact, it's often just a manifestation of our own insecurities and fears. The inner critic is like a shadow. It's always there, lurking in the background, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It feeds on our insecurities, our doubts, and our fears. But why does this happen? Why do we let this inner critic take control? The answer lies in our human nature. We're wired to be cautious, to avoid risks, to stay safe. This fear, this caution, it's what kept our ancestors alive in the face of danger. But in today's world, this fear often gets misdirected, and it turns into the voice of the inner critic. Now let's take a look at a piece of wisdom from the Bible, from the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, verse 10. It says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." This scripture reminds us that we don't have to let fear control us. We have the strength to overcome it. We have the power to quiet the voice of the inner critic. So how do we do that? How do we tame this inner critic? Well, it's not as hard as it may seem. It all starts with awareness. It starts with recognizing the voice of the inner critic for what it is, a manifestation of fear and insecurity. It starts with understanding that this voice doesn't define us. It doesn't control us. We have the power to change the narrative. We have the power to choose a different path. Fear not, for there are ways to tame this inner critic. Now that we've met the beast, let's learn how to tame it. Imagine, if you will, a wild stallion, full of vigor and spirit. It's a beautiful creature, but its energy can be overwhelming. That's our negative self-talk, our inner critic. It's strong, it's persistent, but it can be tamed. And how do we do that? through mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, and positive affirmations. First up, mindfulness. It's a bit of a buzzword these days, isn't it? But let's strip away the hype and get to the heart of it. Mindfulness is simply about being present, being aware, and accepting our thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's not about banishing the beast, but acknowledging it. It's about saying, I see you, I hear you, but I choose not to engage with you right now. Here's where a personal story might help. There once was a time when I found myself constantly battling with my inner critic. It was like a raging bull in a china shop, wreaking havoc in my mind. But then, I discovered mindfulness. I started meditating, focusing on my breath, grounding myself in the present moment. I acknowledged the bull, but I didn't try to fight it. And slowly it began to calm down. Next, let's talk about cognitive restructuring. Sounds complex, doesn't it? But it's simply about challenging and changing our negative thought patterns. It's a bit like a courtroom drama, where you're the lawyer defending your self-esteem against the beast. You cross-examine the negative thoughts, challenge their validity, and replace them with more positive, rational ones. Lastly, we have positive affirmations. These are powerful, positive statements that we repeat to ourselves to counteract the beast's negative narrative. It's like feeding the beast a diet of positivity until it grows strong and healthy, and its negative roars become whispers. Think of a biblical scripture that says, "Life and death are in the power of the tongue." Proverbs 18:21. Our words have power, and the words we say to ourselves are no exception. So let's use that power for good. Let's tame the beast with affirmations like, I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough. But here's the thing. Taming the beast isn't a one-time event. It's a process, a journey. And like any journey, there will be bumps on the road, detours, and delays. And that's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient. And remember, every step you take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. So let's recap. Taming the beast of negative self-talk involves mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, and positive affirmations. It's about acknowledging the beast, challenging it, and feeding it a diet of positivity. And most importantly, it's about being patient with yourself. Remember, it's a process. Be patient with yourself. On the flip side, imagine the power of positive self-talk. Now, we've been talking about quieting the inner critic, but what happens when we turn the volume up on our inner cheerleader? First off, let's take a moment to appreciate the incredible power of positivity. Picture the human mind as an immensely fertile garden. If you plant seeds of negativity, you'll reap a harvest of self-doubt and insecurity. But if you sow seeds of positivity, you'll enjoy a bounty of self-confidence and well-being. Science backs this up too. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that positive self-talk can boost your confidence. Participants who used positive self-affirmations were more confident in their abilities to complete tasks. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, remember to cheer yourself on. You might just surprise yourself with what you can achieve. Furthermore, positive self-talk can also improve your mental health. In a study published in the journal Behavior Research and Therapy, researchers found that positive self-talk can reduce symptoms of depression. By replacing negative thoughts with positive ones, individuals were able to change their outlook and mood. So if you're feeling down, try feeding your mind with positive affirmations. You're not just brushing off your feelings, you're actively working towards improving your mental health. And let's not forget about decision-making. We all know that one person who seems to make decisions with the grace of a ballet dancer while we're over here tripping over our own feet. Well, positive self-talk might just be their secret weapon. A study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that positive self-talk can improve decision-making skills. So next time you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, try some positive affirmations. You might find the clarity you need to make the best decision. Now, you might be wondering, how does one cultivate this positive self-talk? Well, it's as simple as being mindful of your thoughts. Whenever you catch yourself thinking negatively, consciously choose to replace the negative thought with a positive one. It's like that old saying from the Bible, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Your thoughts really do shape who you are. And here's a little humor to lighten the mood. Why did the bicycle fall over? Because it was too tired. Now, this may seem like a silly joke, but think about it. If the bicycle represents our mind, it reminds us that it can't stand on its own if it's too tired. So let's make sure we're fueling it with positive energy instead of draining it with negativity. In the end, the power of positive self-talk is immense. It can boost your confidence, improve your mental health, and even enhance your decision-making skills. So the question isn't whether you should give positive self-talk a try, but rather, isn't it worth giving it a try? So, are you ready to take on the challenge? Our minds are like gardens. The seeds we plant grow into the thoughts we harvest. What if I told you could cultivate a garden of positivity right inside your own mind? Yes, you heard it right. You can, and it's simpler than it sounds. Here's a challenge for you. For the next 7 days, let's replace every negative thought that pops into your mind with a positive one. Sounds easy, right? But remember, the key is consistency. For instance, if you find yourself thinking, I can't do this, immediately replace it with, I'm learning and growing. If the thought, I'm not good enough, creeps in, counter it with, I'm unique and valuable. You'll be amazed at the difference it can make. And why should you take up this challenge? Well, science has shown that positive self-talk can boost your mood, reduce stress, and even improve physical health. It's like a superpower we all have, just waiting to be tapped into. Remember, again, the Proverbs that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Our thoughts shape our reality, so why not shape a reality that's filled with positivity and self-belief? Take a moment, take a breath, and take this step. It's time to cultivate your garden of positive thoughts. It's time to become the master of your mind. For our friends who've stuck around, here's a little bonus. One of the most effective ways to combat that pesky negative self-talk is through mindfulness meditation. This practice teaches us to observe our thoughts without judgment and to let them pass like clouds in the sky. It's a gentle reminder that we are not our thoughts. There's a fantastic app called Calm that offers guided meditations, sleep stories, and breathing exercises. You can start with just 5 minutes a day and gradually increase the time as you become more comfortable with the process. If you're more of a bookworm, check out The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. This book delves deep into the realm of self-awareness and provides practical advice on how to free yourself from the confines of your own thoughts. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Every step you take towards positive self-talk is a step towards a happier, more fulfilled you. Until next time.